Well, for more on the US-Iran technical talks in Doha, we're joined by the geostrategic analyst Abdullah Abdulaziz Al Khater, Al Sharq, live from Doha, Qatar. Thank you, sir, so much for joining us. Welcome to Asia One News. The technical talks between the United States and Iran have now begun in Doha. How significant is this stage of negotiations, and what realistic outcomes can we expect?
Crucial, actually. Without it, this negotiation wouldn't go forward. The Qataris been working hard on this. As you know, they've got the experience, they've got the knowledge, they've got also the understanding of each party with their concerns, their what is it they're really at the end looking for, trying also to soften all these red lines, hard positions that negotiator takes at the beginning of those rounds. So what Qataris are doing is trying now to actually reduce these overall issues into smaller issues that they can then encourage the two parties to take without taking too much risk. Still, there's so much suspicion between the parties, as you know. So in this case, you need to create an atmosphere where people, there's a trust, there is a level of understanding that people can take those steps without actually perceiving there's too much risk. So this is now the Qataris' really job to do it, and everybody's looking forward so that actually the Qataris can achieve this.
Well, yes, Qatar is once again playing the role of a mediator with no direct face-to-face meeting between the US and Iranian officials. Just how important is Doha's diplomatic role in keeping this process alive?
It is absolutely important, as you and the viewers have been following. Each corner, each step between the two, there's so much suspicion, there's so much questions, just expecting the worst from the other party. So the Qataris, with the level of trust from both parties, are able to actually create a level of at least connection, even though it's not a direct connection, just to move those messages, those positions, and be able to soften these positions as time goes on. So without the mediator at this stage, without this level of commitment, this level of understanding, this level of experience, it would be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to get the Iranians and the Americans together. As you know, this is a very long issue. This is before really the 47 years. This is since Mossadegh time, where there was coups and misunderstanding, and as history and students of histories understand, there's just so much really between these two parties that the Qataris have to really work hard, very complex. And now the issues today and how to manage these negotiations and to also move the two parties a little bit forward as time goes on. But we don't have much time. The international community, the world economy is now under a lot of pressure. So with all this pressure on the mediator, on the parties, the internal politics, the various pressures, and both the media also, all this is creating a huge amount of pressure on all parties. So is it important? It's crucial. It's necessary. It's absolutely needed for these two parties to be able to continue this, even for just smaller and smaller steps forward.
And so the working groups are focusing on nuclear issues, diplomacy, financing, and the release of frozen Iranian assets. And which of these issues is likely to be the most difficult to resolve?
The most difficult would probably be the nuclear issue. But now, what is really at priority now is to build trust between the two parties. So what is the most important for each party is how to get those issues at the beginning, and even if it's partially resolved, and then move forward step by step as both parties gain a little bit of trust on the other party. And so what is really important, what is our priority now for especially the mediator is slightly different maybe in some ways than the actual eventual issues that are going to be actually tackled, and the most difficult, which will be nuclear. But now Iran is looking maybe at the funds, US and allies looking at the Strait of Hormuz opening. So give here, take there, and this is what we're going to be seeing in the next maybe hours and days, because this is going to start actually coming out slightly, and then we'll understand what is being traded here, what is being negotiated, what is being able to, for the negotiator and the mediator to be able to get done during this period. So this period is really crucial, very important for those two parties, especially I think for the Iranians on the fund, for also the area and the Americans on the Strait of Hormuz, and we're hoping to look at a slightly opening here and there.
So thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it lots.